So glad you could join us. This is the first show. I love this name. I have to give full credit to my pal, Jordan Young, for this bad yardage. We are going to be talking golf each and every week here, not only about some of the great things that are happening in our state, which, as far as I'm concerned, is still one of the golf meccas in the world. I don't think it gets enough credit for the amount of courses and certainly the amount of PGA professionals, but we're going to talk to a couple PGA professionals each and every week. Mike Fay is here. Mike Fay Golf. He's been doing it for years. I've known Mike for about 4.5 years now. Jordan Young is a guy, former golfer at Eastern Michigan. He, of course, is involved in Jordan Young Golf. I've known Jordan for 30 some odd years now. Fellas, it is a pleasure to be here. I'm so glad that we're doing this. And there is a market out there for guys just talking about the game. And I'm not just talking about the majors and, what's going on the ladies tour, but all things golf, all things state of Michigan golf, and certainly some tips for some guys that know a little something about this game. Jordan, let's start with you. Thanks so much for being with us. And this game just continues to grow.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've been talking about doing this for a while and glad to get it going. And Mike, thanks for joining. We'll be
Mhm.
talking about all kinds of stuff, golf, maybe non-golf stuff, but some controversial stuff and golf courses and tournaments and all those good things. So, I mean, golf is growing big time. I heard a stat today that it has obviously benefited through COVID season and put COVID postseason, we'll call it too. It's the fastest growing or the biggest of all the sports. People talk soccer and a few other things with the World Cup coming, but golf is still growing at a rapid rate more than any other sport. So that's good and it's bad. It's going to drive the rates up on the golf courses and it's going to put a lot more people out there. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but I guess it's good for guys like Mike and I who need to fix everybody's swings.
Well,
That's what
thank
Mike. That's what
goodness.
I was going to say. You were telling me
Yeah.
just before we went on the air that this is as busy as you've been, and I know how busy this guy has been. Trust me, the
Mhm.
last 4 years I've had an up close and personal look, but this is as busy as you've been, right? Schedule wise.
It is. You look at it and thank goodness Michigan has so many great golf courses here. Where are we going to put all the golfers at to play and learn and get better? And I mean, I've heard so many golf trips this year, Jordan. Haven't you? Like, oh, we're going up here. Oh, we're going up there. Oh, we're going. It's
Yeah,
so
it's a
much fun.
it's a boys trip. It's this trip. It's that trip. At pro am. I mean, people just playing golf. I mean, it's part of the deal, and people are paying for it. So it's good stuff.
It is.
Make sure you check both these guys out all over social media. It's really simple. Mike Fay Golf, Jordan Young Golf, helping guys for many years between them. I want to start with something. I thought about guys like you when the stuff with Scotty Scheffler went down. And in case people don't know, all charges were rightfully dropped against him. That's the way it should be. I mean, we all know that. It took a
Took
while to
long enough.
yeah, it took a
Yeah.
while to even get to that point. Are you guys surprised that something like this, maybe not as dramatic, of course, but are you guys surprised that something like this hasn't happened more often? Because I've been there at the start of tournaments, okay? It is a madhouse. There are 700 people going in 700 different directions. You guys have been there not only as golfers, but you've been there as members of the media. It is a madhouse, especially when you're talking about a tournament of that magnitude. Mike, we'll start with you. Are you surprised something like this hasn't happened more often?
I am, but at the same time, like you look at the situation, it was pretty chaotic, right? Like with, you know, the gentleman passing away and that not too far from the gate and the confusion and lack of communication and all kinds of things that happened. Boy, I don't know. It was just tough to watch. Yeah, it's very, very sad. I mean, I just go back and think. I think we don't really focus on what we should be focusing on is someone passed away, right? And
Yep.
we sit there and we're like, oh, attacking or not or whatever, who was right, who was wrong, stuff like that. And we have to go back and look in and what really happened, right? And like Jordan said, thank goodness, we finally come to an end of this, right? And we can stop talking about it and we can move on. And that's all I wanted to do from the start, to be honest.
No, I get, Jordan, I got to ask you as well. I mean, we were talking about, I mean, the mugshot comes out and it reminded me of The Fugitive. I mean, that's our generation. Young people aren't going to get that bit, but I mean, it really was one of those things where you're shaking your head saying, wow, what just a disaster of a morning in so many different ways. And as Mike so astutely put, let's not forget, there was a terrible accident that kind of set in motion those events.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how awake you are at 5:30 in the morning or whatever time it was, but I'm usually not too sharp. And I assume Scotty, had been up for 40 minutes already and was on his way to get his routine going. And, not much changes with those guys getting there early in the dark and they got their routine. And I'm sure you just saw some guys there and they're a little bit of an issue going on and he didn't really know what was going on. And the rest kind of took its course and things went a little sideways and people were a little heightened and alarmed and he didn't know that. And then all of a sudden things went crazy. So very unfortunate. I know that the one entrance thing was a little bit of an issue. And, there's some other golf courses. I mean, I can think of Whistling Straits. I can think of Augusta National. I mean, sure, there's a bunch, but most places have multiple entrances. And I heard this place just had one. Now, combine that with being in the dark and raining, there was some other issues. So it was unfortunate. I mean, I think the best quote that Scotty had was when he was talking about it after he shot 67, by the way.
Yeah.
Was, well, I was warming up in the jail cell and I really haven't done that before. I mean, you comprehend all that. You just had to figure after that day and the next day that he was going to come down off his juice level or whatever and just be like, I'm tired. I got to take the day off. And he kind of took, you could say Saturday, or I don't even know what day it was. Maybe it was Saturday, but he didn't play as great. He was tired. It was emotional. And then, he still came back and played pretty well on Sunday. And I think he finished T10 or maybe he was higher than that, T8. Yeah.
He was up there. Yeah, he was up there.
It just shows how strong that guy is emotionally, mentally to comprehend all that. Like nobody can deal with that stuff. They had a Quebec par written all over it, an 8-0.
Yeah.
And he fires 6-7. Like, oh, just okay, I gotta go on with my job. I'm gonna just warm up in the cell and I'm gonna get a ride from the owner to the course. I'm gonna get my mind processed and I'm gonna go out there and start making birdies.
Like right off the get-go, too, right? First hole.
Yeah.
First hole. Then he bogeys 2. Then he birdies 3. But I mean, man, unbelievable. But anyways, unfortunate, but we're past it now.
Yep. Hopefully learning lesson for everybody. PGA professionals, Jordan Young at Jordan Young Golf, and of course, Mike Fay at Mike Fay Golf, kindly joining us here. Fellas, I want to get to the terrible story with Grayson Murray. I mean, something that, again, goes beyond golf, but something that needs to talk about. The one thing I think we've all talked about in the time that we've known each other is nobody gives back like the PGA does. I think the way they take care of people, I think certainly how giving they are. And this is something that, listen, I know the PGA is going to act strongly with this and do everything they can to make sure that something like this, they're there for support. Go ahead, Jordan.
PGA Tour.
The PGA Tour. My apologies. Yes, it's absolutely. Okay. The PGA Tour.
Yeah, PGA Tour.
Yeah. Nobody gives back like the PGA Tour. Hey, very quickly, if I can, let me tell you about our friends at the Wealth Advantage Group. And of course, if you want to be part of this great show, we'd love to have you. I mean, talking golf with two great guys. Speaking of a great guy, Michael Husak in the chat. Jordan Young, what a class act. I have lessons next Friday with him.
Oh,
Yes,
gee.
Michael Husak, my
Yeah.
neighbor, my friend, half of the duo known as the Handsome Brothers. And if you are ready to take charge of your financial future, look no further than the Wealth Advantage Group, located in historic downtown Northville and owned by the Handsome Brothers right there with over 20 years of industry experience. They understand that your financial goals are as unique as you are. That's why they offer personalized expert guidance to help you navigate the complexities of financial planning. Now, whether you're saving for retirement, getting ready to sell your company, or already in retirement, they can help guide you through every step of your financial journey. They work with clients throughout all stages of life, and they have clients in over 20 states. Look, the investment world, it is a complex one. If you're ready to start taking your finances more seriously, it is time to work with a couple of experts, great guys, those two guys right there, the Wealth Advantage Group. Give them a jingle. You will be glad that you did. 248-773-8574. That's 248-773-8574, or view their website at www.thewealthadv.com. And yes, for what it's worth, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, I don't know if you guys even have any empty spots left, but I have to say it anyway, right? Mike Fay and Jordan Young are both pretty well known for some of the lessons that they give out. You guys have any spots left? Can people call up and say, "Yeah, I'll find a way to get you in"?
Sure.
Yeah, Mike,
Absolutely. Yeah. Hmm.
Jordan, you as well?
Sorry, I missed that. What was the question? I just got cut out for a second.
No, I was going to say, do you have any spots open? You know, if somebody said, "Hey, you know what? I want to see if I can get some lessons from a couple of PGA professionals." Do you have any spots open?
Yeah, a couple midday next week spots, but not many. Two. I think I got two on Friday. That's it.
So give Mike and Jeff a call at Wealth Advantage, and give Mike and Jordan a call as well. PGA Tour guys, can't say enough about how they give back. Jordan, I still go back to, gosh, I don't even remember, the years run together now. But when the flood happened in Midland, was that 2021?
Hmm.
How the Michigan chapter just mounted up, and I mean, honestly, got in there right away and helped out in so many different ways. And I know you guys were a big part of that. But there were one of those moments, is you mentioned, with the PGA Tour, Grayson Murray, just a tragic tale. And I want to get your thoughts, first of all, on something like this, because I mean, this is a guy that not only he was a competitor, but Mike Fay, he was a friend as well.
Yeah. Great player, right? Super player. And more and more come out about him as a person as we go, right? It it's just super sad to hear. Um, Battling for a long time too, a lot longer than us guys know. Um, it's just sad. It's a sad thing to hear. You never want to hear that. Um, what else can you say?
Yeah, yeah.
What else can you say about him as a person, how great of a person he is, and then to find out what had happened. Just tough to hear.
And Jordan, I think the next step is okay. What can people do? What can the tour do? What can fellow golfers do? We grew up in an era, we're all around the same age, where you just dealt with things, and I think this is one good thing about today is there are people out there that you can talk to if you're having any kind of problem. Reach out to people, and there isn't a stigma anymore if you're struggling with things. We are sort of, you're a man, you're a professional, you're suck it up, and nah, it's not that easy. It just isn't that easy. And I'm sure that's one thing that the PGA Tour is going to focus on moving forward. Hey, listen, if you need anything, there's somebody always listening.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, addiction's tough. Depression's even tougher. And some people don't even know they have it. Some people are courageous enough to speak up and say they do have it and
Yep.
ask for some help. I think the story here is that we don't realize how many people are struggling with this.
Yep.
And I know that Brian and I talked about this last week, and Brian has taken the leadership role within the Michigan sections, and this is Brian Cairns. We've lost good friend of ours, Eric Coleman, a number of years ago. I'm gonna say it's about 7 or 8 years ago. He was a golfer at U of M. He was around my age, around 53. A great player, super nice guy. Would have never thought there was anything wrong. His wife still teaches in the area. Had a nice, beautiful family. Then we lost Bob Ackerman last year, who is an awesome player, legendary player, Hall of Fame style player. I believe he's in the Michigan Hall of Fame. He was battling. We didn't really know much about that. And then recently, this like 2 months ago, Rick Howells, who took lessons from me. All these guys are PGA professionals. That's can't happen, right? And so, I mean, it is happening, but it can happen, and something's got to change. We got to be there for these people. We got to they got to help and share their story a little bit, and ask for help. If you need help, ask. And we're all here. Brian, I know he's doing some work within the Michigan section to make sure that something is set up and that we all try to help each other. And I'm sure the PGA Tour is going to do the same thing. And, there's numbers to call. I don't know if you've got anything pulled up, Sean, but I know there's a 3-digit number to call, and there's a helpline and all that. I don't have it pulled up now, but we should mention it at some point. People are there to help. I mean, don't be ashamed, and you got to ask because people want to be there for you.
No, and that's it. It really is one of those things, Jordan and Mike, that our generation, a lot of times we older guys, things aren't the same as they were when we were younger. This is one thing that is dramatically better. People should talk. If you're having a tough time, reach out to somebody, right? I mean, being a human being comes first. And absolutely. And I think, again, the PGA Tour has led the way in so many ways in terms of giving back, in terms of charitable contributions, et cetera, et cetera. And this is, I think, a golden opportunity that they're going to take advantage of to say, yes, we're listening, and we're going to make sure that somebody is always listening. Certainly want to get your thoughts on the U.S. Open coming up. I was one of those guys a couple of years ago. I remember bringing it up to you guys. We as sports fans were creatures of habit. I did not like the idea of moving from August to May. I did not like the idea at all. I wanted the tournament to stay in August because that's the way it was and that's the way it always should be. And you know what? I'm totally won over. Like, I'm so fired up that we get to watch Pinehurst in a couple weeks. I want to get your thoughts on that in just a second. But first, let me tell you about our favorite realtor. Her name, of course, Lindsay Broadwell. And when it's time to buy a house, sell a house, both, you need to contact the right agent. And there she is, Lindsay Broadwell. Your house is probably the biggest investment you will ever make, and that's why you need a pro. Lindsay grew up on the main streets of Northville, and she has expanded her team all over Southeast Michigan. She's an expert in all facets of the business, and when it's time to move, our friend Lindsay and her team will make sure you get the most out of your house and everything goes smoothly when finding your new home. Buyers, sellers, first-time buyers, it doesn't matter. Make sure you contact Lindsay at BroadwellHomes.com. She will help you with everything from start to close. Licensed realtor at Real Broker LLC. Start your search today at BroadwellHomes.com. And, before we were talking about Lindsay, I brought up to you guys, we were doing the show together a few years ago when they made the decision to move the tournament, of course, from August until May. And, I always thought it was a cool idea to have it in August, but I'm not going to lie to you, to kind of go boom, 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 this time of year is pretty cool. I think a few years removed from doing it, and we'll start with you, Mike, is the decision a good one as far as you're concerned?
Well, the NFL, right? That was the main reason, to get more eyes on golf.
Yep.
And during the summer months, that more people are playing golf at that time. And I think it's okay.
Yeah. Jordan, what did you think? What was your take on it?
I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Just
Really?
playing. I don't care. Just keep the Masters where it is. I care less when the rest of the stuff is, to be honest with you. Doesn't matter. Like I've got the women's open on right now and checking the scoreboards. It doesn't matter to me. Really. Don't care.
See, I was going to continue our long-standing tradition. Nobody covers the ladies' game like Mike Fay. And
Oh man.
yeah, and I say that with a tip of the cap, and especially to his young daughter Rachel, who keep an eye on her. She's got a bright future ahead of her. But of course, the U.S. Open at Pinehurst, we're just in essence 13 days away. As you guys look ahead to that, what jumps out to you? I mean, Pinehurst is just one of those legendary places. There's no doubt about that. But each and every one of these tournaments now, there's so many darn good golfers. It's impossible to sit back and say, oh, I love this guy or I love that guy, because the reality is golf's at such a good spot right now. Any number of guys could jump up and take that tournament.
I'm looking for guys that have played well over the course of 6 weeks, but have not really won. Or maybe a guy that's won in the last 6 weeks, or a guy that's been really close. I don't like everybody can pick Rory. Everybody's gonna pick Scotty. Who cares? Pick Hovland. Morikawa, right? Played good, but then it's kind of faltered a little bit. And we just saw the last one, right? What's his face? What's his name? Just won finally. Got his major at the PGA, which was great. So
Choffley.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just I don't know. Everybody likes Scotty. He just still amazes me. By the way, I can't figure him out, but the guy's just a machine.
Was it BC Mike that called him the ATM? He was just like, he's going to make money every tournament. You just accept it,
He's the new ATM. He used to be.
He is the new one.
Steve Stricker.
Yeah,
Stricker, it was Stricker.
Yep. Mike, any extra special magic to it? The fact that it's at Pinehurst. I mean, it really is one of those legendary places.
Place is sweet. I'm thinking somebody that can pound it wins this week. Now I'm looking for DeChambeau maybe up there if he
could win. Well. He's been playing well.
If he putts good, he can win. And
that's a good pick. That's a good pick, Mike.
I'll go with you, Mike. I mean, the guy
that have not been there is fantastic. I mean, I was down there a couple years ago after the redo and everything. Oh man, it's going to be someone that hits it far, that can hold the green with irons, and got to putt good.
And he hits it high enough.
Yep. You got to putt good.
Nick asked, is Oakland Hills on the major circuit anymore? It is, but it seems like it's every 18 years or something. Do you guys have any info on that?
Mike's our stats guy, so he'll have to.
I'll look it up. I'll get you an answer.
I think it's a while. I will give you the suicide and crisis line is 988, which I learned last week, which I didn't know, but it is 988.
988.
If you're struggling and need some help. I wanted to touch on to change gears a little bit, if you don't mind. Lexi.
Yeah.
And that story, because a lot of people, she came out this week and announced she's going to retire after the year. And I'm not surprised. Okay, so is she battling some demons, some issues, some depression? Does she just want to have a family and a normal life? Does she maybe want to have kids? I mean, she's 29 or 30. I mean, people don't realize how difficult it is to play week in and week out, let alone be a high profile girl on the women's tour who doesn't make a lot of money. None of the girls make a lot of money. And maybe she just doesn't want to put in the extra work.
Maybe she's all done because she started at 14.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I'm done. I want to do something different with my life now. I mean, I did really good. I grew the game of golf. I inspired kids to play. I had a lot of fun. I've been grinding it out. I mean,
Absolutely.
you would think at 29, you're like, yes, I'm in the prime, right? Well, where my prime was a few years ago, and I keep grinding away, and maybe we want to do something different, right? Who knows?
Mike, after a long day of teaching and thinking like, I don't know, how old are you? What are you, 40, what, 8, something like that? Do you want to have
52.
okay, so you're 52. So you're younger than I am. Like, do you want to have kids at 52?
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. No. Right?
No.
I
Like,
hope not.
I mean, you want to at least be somewhat of a half decent age when they're 12, 13, or 14. So
Yeah.
I give her credit. I like, hey, I'm done. Mic drop. I'm out. Cool. Good for you. You've been a warrior for the game. The women's drive. I mean, won a lot of money, won some tournaments. Awesome. I have no qualms with that.
I would like to say I've been consistent about this in all my years in the sports media. I could not agree with both of you more. And I think people out there that have watched or listened to me for a long time, that has always been my take. We as sports fans have some kind of weird entitlement, whether we want to admit it or not. I don't care. We do. We are so enamored with telling other people how they should live their lives. I don't get it. Lexi, what are you doing? She's doing something that makes her happy, or else she wouldn't be doing it. Like, God bless you. I'm all for your happiness. You don't want to play anymore. It might be for the reasons that Mike said. Jordan, it might be this, that, or the other thing. You don't want to play anymore. Thanks for the memory. Here's a tip of the cap. Best of luck to you in the future. But we have this weird sense. It's like, I think if we're all honest with ourselves, Andrew Luck is another one. Sorry to switch gears, but what is Andrew Luck thinking? Can you believe? The man wanted to go spend more time with his wife and kids, and you want to beat the crap out of him for that.
Yeah.
Think about that. It's cuckoo. And I don't know. Sometimes we need to take a step back, much like you guys both did. Lexi's 29 years old. She's got wonderful years ahead of her. Go make them the happiest years of your life. And if you want to pull a Guy Lafleur after a few years and try to come back, okay, you can try that too. But at the end of the day, you go do what makes you happy. And clearly this is something that she thinks she can be happier doing something else. So I couldn't agree with you guys more. Best of luck to you. I'm serious. Best of luck to you.
I like the tip of the hat. You got a little treetops hat on there. You
Yeah, very nice.
searching for some sponsors, maybe, huh?
Very nice.
Well, you guys are welcome anytime. You know that. Speaking of sponsors, can I want to tell you a little bit about one of our friends, Legacy. We've had Legacy with us for a while. And did you know that thousands of Metro Detroiters, literally thousands of Metro Detroiters, including many people that watch what we're doing, have already called Legacy Partners to get help with their home and auto insurance? Our friends at Legacy Partners are one of Southeast Michigan's top independent insurance agents. They provide a full-service, one-stop solution for all of your insurance needs, personal and business, large and small. Now, Legacy goes in and helps our listeners by fixing mistakes other agents have made. Heck, I'm not joking. They're coming to my house tomorrow to do the same for me. They ask the right questions to get the right coverage put in place to properly protect you. And yeah, they help save you some money at the same time. Chances are, if you haven't checked your policies in the last year, you're probably paying too much and you could be underinsured. What are you waiting for? Call to get your quote. These guys are going to take care of you like they're going to take care of my family. Give Legacy Partners a chance to help with your home, your cars, life insurance, Medicare enrollment, business insurance needs. They got your back. So call them today at 586-209-4106 or visit legacypartnersins.com to get started with your new quotes. Mike Fay Golf, Jordan Young Golf. And we are sitting here, Bad Yardage. We're going to be talking about golf, all things golf, each and every week, not just about what's happening on the tours. And I say tours, plural, more on that in a second, Mike, but what's happening at the NC2A level, what's happening at the high school level, and certainly a lot of stuff locally. If you guys have a question for our PGA professionals, Cardinals. That's why they're here. If you have a comment, that's why we're here. Somebody said I wanted to get back and see what somebody said. They brought up a point about Fleetwood, and I keep waiting for Fleetwood to win more. Maybe I'm overrating him. What's your guys' take on that?
I'd say he's due to win something for sure. I mean, he's a good player, but he hasn't really made a huge splash to win anything huge. I think he's in the mix a lot, but yeah, it's a fair statement. Let's see him win something.
Yeah.
Let's see him creep up the leaderboard,
Yeah.
right? And not
Yeah.
fall off the planet in the last round.
Yep. That's exactly it.
Right?
Tim brings up a great point. Another guy, Barry Sanders. Barry was about the same age as Lexi when the game stopped being fun. Fans needed to get over it. I couldn't agree with you more. And if you guys remember, I was doing the whole sports radio thing and at Fox 2 at the time. Every fall for, I would say, 6 years, or I can't even say fall, summer, there was the rumor that Barry was going to come back. Every single year for about 6 years. Guys, there was no way in Hades Barry Sanders was ever coming back. When he was done, he was done. And he said as much. It was over. It stopped being fun for a myriad of reasons. And you know what? God bless you, man. You gave so much to the game. Nobody knows how much you put into it and the toll it takes on your body. And the same thing can be said for Lexi. I'm always fascinated by people that try to tell other people how they should live their life. I'm always fascinated at that. I got to be honest with you. Good for her.
I got a question for you, Sean.
Okay.
How many NCAA men's teams make the NCAA championship?
I don't even know. I have no idea.
Mike, do you know?
I don't know the number.
That would be 3-0. Okay. And then after 3 rounds, they cut to the top 15. And then the top 8 advanced to match play. So if you didn't know, Illinois dusted everybody this year and shot 6 under through 4 rounds. Second place was Vanderbilt at 10 over. And then it got pretty tight. The last team in was Georgia Tech. So we had Illinois, Vanderbilt, Virginia, North Carolina, Florida State, Auburn Tigers, the Buckeyes, and Georgia Tech. And Georgia Tech came in the first round and knocked off Illinois. And Auburn ended up winning the championship over Florida State, which was pretty interesting. And it looked like it was a great championship. And we had some surprises. We had some great players play. I mean, you saw a couple of guys that were in the Masters. I'll pull up a couple of the guys here. Gordon Sargent's one of them, right, Mike? You know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, and Shipley's from Ohio State.
Shipley. Yep.
So those guys both played. Sargent finished T2 individually, 2 under. 3 under was Hiroshi Tai. He won. So he's our national champion. And this was at Omni La Costa North Course in Carlsbad, California.
Oh.
Never been there, but I'm sure the weather was hot.
You were there, Sean?
It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my entire lifetime. I'm not, that is not an exaggeration. It is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. I absolutely fell in love with Carlsbad. I mean, it's
I'm surprised they let you in with a Habs jersey on.
With dip stains all over it and everything.
Probably charged you extra for your room.
Honest to goodness, Carlsbad, California is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. It is. There's just north of San Diego. Like I'm not. See, this is like role reversal because Jordan and Mike are the guys that have been everywhere. I've actually been there. It really is.
Well, I've been to Carlsbad. I haven't been to that golf course.
Yep.
Right?
No, we it's funny. We were there, so it's amazing how that works out. Speaking of college golf, we had a chance to do some shows at Eagle Crest, and there is a lot of good stuff, Jordan, happening with Eastern Michigan golf. I know something near and dear to your heart. Mike, we did shows out there last year. It's one of the most picturesque places you're ever going to see. Boy, sitting on the second floor, looking over that Huron River, it's absolutely beautiful there. But, Jordan, a lot of good stuff happening out there.
Yeah, I mean, first, I just wanted to congratulate Bruce Cunningham, who retired. 29 years, 3 MAC championships, coached so many great players, whether they're from Michigan, Canada, or wherever. I mean, he was a mentor to so many of us. Just an unbelievable coach, did an unbelievable job. He was basically the Eastern Michigan Eagle. He was the coach. He did so much for the university and for the athletic department. I think he's the fourth longest tenured coach ever at Eastern Michigan. So 29 years. Congratulations to him. Um, he decided to step away, and he was a mentor to me and so many other coaches, players, and just sculpted a lot of young men into fine young men. So congratulations. But yes, lots of stuff brewing at Eastern Michigan. This past week, it was announced that they were donating, the Game Above organization that I'm a part of, proud to be a part of, with my wife as well. Donated 6.4 million, I believe, to the golf teams, which was on the heels of the grand opening of the Bruce Cunningham Performance Center in January, which was 8.3 million.
That place is sweet.
So that is that is the biggest donation of any team at Eastern Michigan University, and will probably be known around the country is certainly a place to look at now. On the heels of that, the next day was announced that Josh Brewer is now our women's coach and is coming in and is officially announced. He came from Georgia, 12 years at Georgia, and his track record is incredible. Those who know him, and we are very, very lucky to have him. And things are changing big time at Eastern Michigan. So the money will be used, obviously, to help fund training, coaches, support assistant coaches, and all kinds of other things. Tournament schedules are going to be a little bit different, but super excited. I heard today the men's coach, they are looking at men's coaches, and their interviews are ongoing. So that's right
Jordan
around
Young.
the corner.
I'm sorry, it's something in my throat.
No, I am not qualified. I'm not qualified to get into that, but I'm always going to help. I'm an Eagle. I'm a Huron and an Eagle, and I'll always be there to help. And that's kind of my motto. And I know Bruce would be the same way. He'd want me to do the same thing. And we just have those E's stamped on our chest, and just kind of keep pounding the drum and do what we can to win championships. And that's kind of the goal. So a lot of people have been reaching out and texting and wondering what the heck's going on and don't believe anything that's going on. And, just keep sitting around and watching, because we're going to turn some heads pretty fast here.
I think it's awesome. And Mike, I mentioned this, but an opportunity, your daughter has really gone like this. How are things going? I feel like I have a personal vested interest in this now, meeting her. She's such a great girl, and it's been wonderful to watch her growth in this game. How are things going with her?
She is doing very well. Playing a lot, just about every weekend now, and then we're going to be starting moving on towards some AJGA events and things like that. We look at it totally differently, and from a development standpoint for you parents out there, we have to look at it from a learning perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not if we have to be able to fail and then get better, right? And as we fail, we have to keep going. And that's what we're doing. We're failing, but we're getting better. And we're failing a little bit, and we're getting better. And then we're playing really good, and then we don't play so good. And then we play really good. And that's how it goes. We don't always just all of a sudden play awesome. And that's how you get better. And it takes time to learn. And, as you know, with her, she hasn't been playing golf very long. This is her 4th year playing golf. And it's amazing what she's done. And it's just a lot of hard work and every day with a golf club in your hand. If you want to be good at golf, put a golf club in your hand every day, everybody. You're going to get way better. If you take time for you and you go out there and you work on your golf game, you're going to get way better. And that's what she's done.
I love it. Before we get out of here, I'm going to give you both a chance to tell us what's going on this next week, and pimp really anything you're involved with as well. Todd wanted me to remind you, hey, get to the YouTube channel. subscribe to the channel at Unsyndicated. We would really appreciate it. And again, if you want to be part of this show, you want to be a title sponsor, reach out to Jordan, reach out to Mike, reach out to me. We keep growing. We keep bringing different things out there. And this is a heck of a lot of fun. I told both these guys, this is something I personally should have done many, many years ago. We can do things our way, have fun, talk about the things that we want to talk about. Before we get out of here, check in with both of these guys to see what's coming up on their schedule. Let me tell you about one of our sponsors. It's All About Catering. All About Catering LLC, full service caterer. I have used them multiple times. I'm not just saying that. Rick and his staff do a fantastic job. Graduation, wedding, bridal showers, corporate events, anything that you need a caterer for, they got you, from 25 to even 4,000 people. Yep, All About Catering will take care of you like they have taken care of me and my family. Their number one goal: customer service and satisfaction. So don't sweat your next big event. Just go to allaboutcateringllc.com today. Check out their menus, their 5-star reviews. Yeah, couple from me. Or give them a call at 586-731-1398 to get your event started. Jordan Young, golf. Mike Fay, golf. Mikey, we'll start with you. Anything coming up this week that you need to let people know about?
Well, we have the Callaway Meyer event for the kids up at Michigan State this week. It is the most attended junior event of the summer, according to what the tour is saying. They have so many kids. I'll be reporting on it next week. It's amazing. It's going to be a lot of fun. And because of the fact that the state finals and stuff are being held at Michigan State, a lot of the kids are going to go play there and get more experience learning about the golf courses there, both the East and the West. I do have an update, though, for you, Sean, about the Oakland Hills and what the future
he's always
championships.
doing work, isn't he, Jordan? Mike Fay's always doing work, trying to get the answers. Go right ahead, Mike.
I got to find the answers. Okay. They're going to host 8 championships over the next 29 years, according to the USGA.
Well, there you go.
Including the Women's Open in 2031 and 2042, the U.S. Open in 2034 and 2051. The U.S. Junior Amateur is in 24, right? Let's see, the 20 in 2029, the U.S. Women's Am in 2038, U.S. Girls Junior Amateur, and 2047, the U.S. Amateur. So lots of stuff going on at Oakland Hills. I'm excited about seeing that we're making progress on, what a terrible thing that happened over there with the clubhouse and that, what I mean? Like, we gotta build it. We gotta get it built, get it back the way it was, right? Get it back good.
Well, we got Michigan's Major coming up as well. I mean, it's been so much fun the last few years being a part of that. Of course, the Rocket Mortgage Classic coming up just a few short weeks. We'll talk a lot about that. Jordan, what do you have going on this week? What do you want to hit?
I got a lot. I got the Canadian Open that's going on. I checked to see. We had an Eastern Michigan kid, Cam Collette, play a game above sponsor player. He shot 68 yesterday. He missed the cut. He was 2 over. He bogeyed 5 of his last 10 holes. I think he missed the cut by 1 or 2. So I was watching Rory and a couple of guys. So that's going on at Ancaster Country Club, which is Hamilton Golf and Country Club too. Played there a bunch. Cool little spot. Great course. Got a nice field. And of course, Rory's there. We have the boys high school championships next week. Division 1, I believe, is at Bedford Valley. Which will be interesting. That's Friday and Saturday. So all the boys are, freaking out about all their practice and this and that. Regionals was this week, and I'm getting all the stories from everybody. Oh, my team didn't qualify, or I qualified, whatever. So they're all grinding like, it's a tour event. And
turn your putter on, Sean. When you go to Bedford Valley, make sure you go before you go start playing. You go turn your putter on.
Yeah, you have the putter. The putter light bulb has to be on.
That's good. Got to turn your putter on.
But and then I'm heading up north tomorrow. State Pro-Am, one of the funnest tournaments of the year for us. Michigan PGA Professional would select an amateur to play. Sean, you were pretty far down on the list of my, invitations. You were like number 68.
It's a good percentage. Jaromir Jagr, I can do
You were
that.
68. It's funny because my kid kind of brewed me for some Morgan Wallen concert in like, I don't know. I said, well, where is it? He goes, well, it's in Pittsburgh. I said, wait a second. So you're gonna go to Pittsburgh and then drive back up on Monday and play with me on Monday? I go, you're done. You're out. So I'm playing with Will Anderson, friend of the family, and the Anderson family's great. He's playing at Michigan. He just graduated. Awesome player, awesome kid. So my kid's like, well, you guys have a way better chance of winning than you playing with me. I go, don't try to sell it. Come on. But yeah, anyways, so we're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna head up tomorrow. What else? So yeah, we got the Rocket Mortgage in what 30? Wait, maybe it's 28 days or 30 days or something.
Yeah, less than a month now.
I actually got invited to play in the Pro-Am from Game Above, which is pretty cool. So I think we have 2 teams. I don't know if I'm playing with TJ Lang or who I'm playing with yet, but my wife was funny. She's like, "Oh, that was nice of them to ask, for you to play as the pro in their group." And I go, "No, I'm not the pro in this group. I'm just playing as an amateur." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I go, "Well, there's the PGA Tour. It's the tour players will play with a couple guys, one in the front, one in the back." She's like, "Oh, okay." Just but it was her birthday. It was her birthday today, so we'll let her off the hook.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Yeah. I'm sure she's sitting there watching the hockey game right now, which all 3 of us are going to be doing in about 35 seconds.
She's still trying to figure what round it is. She asked me what Toronto was still playing the other day, and I kind of looked at her and I didn't even respond.
Yeah.
You can't, right?
All right. Eric said, gentlemen, have a great weekend on the links. Eric, you do the same. Nick wanted to say thanks to Mike. I want to say thanks to Mike as well. Check out all the great stuff that he does. Mike Fay Golf on all the social medias. Jordan as well. Jordan Young Golf. We're going to keep doing this throughout the rest of the golf season. Whenever, quite frankly, it tickles our fancy. But most importantly, we want to thank you for joining us. Tell your friends about us if you want to be a part of it. We'd love to chat with you as well. We're going to be talking about some of the great places in Michigan to golf. These are 2 guys that would know about that. Some of the hidden gems and some of the not so hidden gems in the next few weeks as well. For Jordan Young, for Mike Fay, my name is Sean Baligian. Until next time, thanks for checking us out on Bad Yardage.